and welcome to the first ever Cumbernauld Academy podcast. Today we're talking to Rachael Alexander from 4th year, who has recently become an influential figure in the more local fight for climate justice. Hi Rachael, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. I'd like to firstly start with talking about your campaign. So what are the aims of it and how are you trying to achieve them?
We're mostly working to try and get the government to change their minds about climate change and try to show them that it's important and it's what we care about rather more than Brexit or more than any other thing we're trying to fight now.
So how did you start getting involved with it?
Well, actually my RE teacher, Mr McNamara, showed us a video of like a live recording of George Square during one of the first ones, like one of the small ones. And then I went along to one just to see what it was like, and it was my first protest. I'd never been to one before. So I was quite nervous, as you would think, but it was an awesome environment. So then I joined the Scottish Youth Climate Strike, which is an organisation that helps organise the strikes and helps spread the message of climate change. And from there it's kind of just all taken off, I guess.
How did you find out about that organisation?
Through going to the strike, because they advertised it quite heavily throughout their speeches and whatnot, and then it was really easy to actually join. You just kind of went online and filled out a form and got an email a couple of weeks later to see if you got accepted.
That's interesting. What advice would you give to people who want to get involved? Like any advice for the change people can make?
Well, don't care about what others think, because there are going to be quite a few people that are going to start poking fun at you, calling you all sorts of names, hopefully in good fun. But yeah, try to you need to stand on your own 2 feet, because activism isn't something you can do sitting down. And we try to advocate for more system change, because no amount of hydro flasks or corn is going to save the planet. It's the people in the chairs saying what we're doing.
Yeah, and so what's been the highlight of your campaign so far?
Honestly, meeting all of the like-minded people that you meet every day during this sort of stuff. You get to work with people like MPs. You get to work with other organisations, and it's just really fun to get involved. And it really starts to feel like you're making a difference when you start to see small changes happening.
Yeah. Tell us more about your experience at Hollywood. That must have been quite incredible.
Oh, that was something else, by the way. We went in. It was very big. Trying to get through was a nightmare, though. It was airport security, but heightened. I got to meet some really incredible people, Leah Wu, I think her name is. She was the one that got the smoking ban put in place. Got to meet Tim Parsons, I think his name is. Tim or Jim, I can't remember. But he organised the first Pride March in Scotland, and I got to talk to them about how they got their message across and how they managed to use the Parliament to their own advantage.
Nice. So who is Rachael? Tell us about yourself aside from your campaign.
What do you want to know?
How would you describe yourself in, say, 3 words?
Driven, probably. Hardworking, even though it's 2 words, we'll use the wee hyphen.
Yep.
And probably outgoing. This has really increased, doing stuff like this has really increased my confidence. At the first strike, I went up and did a wee 30-second speech. Legs were shaking, voice was shaking. You could tell that I wasn't so nervous, right? But then by the second one, I was leading it. I was the one up the front shouting all the chants. And,
No, that's really amazing, because you're coming here today and you're speaking and you're so articulate. It's amazing to see how far you've come with your activism and yourself as a person.
Thank you.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
Probably the girl that started the movement herself, Greta Thunberg. Because she faces so much backlash online, and she's called every name under the sun. When she's still just a child, but she has created global change that I could only imagine about doing.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. So have you faced any challenges, particularly as a young person?
Well, people often call me naive or say that I'm uneducated or that I should stay in school. And to those people I say, why should I stay in school if I'm not going to need the qualifications in the future, because I'm going to lose my future to climate change? It was just no one wants to listen to your message because they think that because they're older than you and because they've had more life experience, they think they know better when evidently they don't.
Yeah, so you would say it's hard to be taken seriously as a young person?
Yeah, quite.
And do you believe people treat you differently because of that?
Yeah, I would say, because no one will listen to you, but if it was some middle-aged white man in a suit, people would listen. And obviously I'm not that, so...
Yeah. So what would you say to the people that, like you mentioned before, who maybe deny climate change or think you're naive or think there's no point?
That, I hope you can swim.
Anything else?
That I really hope that you can educate yourself before worse comes to worse.
So is there any information that you think would sway somebody, like persuade them of your opinion?
Well, you can see it like all around you. You can see that, like in Scotland itself, we had like the hottest temperatures on record this summer, and we're on set to have some of the coldest winters again. And that isn't natural. And you can see it in California, where there's wildfires like taking over large parts of it. You can see it in the Amazon, which like that generates 20% of the world's oxygen, and we're losing that so fast, which is obviously really bad, because we're not gonna we need that, and we're not gonna get it.
So is there an issue particularly you'd like to raise awareness of, something that you think that people in Cumbernauld Academy could try and make serious change about?
That's quite a hard one, because there's so many like massive issues.
And as you say, it's up to the hands of those in like power and government, but is there anything you think that people could seriously change about the way that they live their lives?
Probably trying to live a lot more plastic free, which is really hard in today's society, because everything you buy is wrapped in plastic. But another huge thing would be not buying fast fashion, because we're not aware of how much this silent killer is actually killing us, because it accounts for so much of the world's carbon emissions, and it's so easy to get and it's so cheap, and that's why people buy it, but they're not thinking about the havoc that they're wreaking on the environment by doing so.
Definitely. So looking forward, what are your ambitions? What would you want to achieve?
We want to get the people that we need to listen to us, because we're making progress, but it's still not enough, and it's not fast enough. Because 2050 is too late. So we're trying to aim for 2025 at the latest, because we have 11 years to go now, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to die at the time I'm 26. So we just really need people to start taking this seriously, even though we're only children.
Yeah, thank you, that's really powerful. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
In other news, a wide range of clubs in Cumbernauld Academy are starting back up or starting up again this year. From enterprise to Japanese to gymnastics to Lego, there'll be a wide range of activities that you can sign up for soon and have the opportunity to check out. Tune in next time, where we'll be talking to Mr. Cairns himself.